Yes, now.
We'll do the Prarthana first. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. So this time, since last time there was some issue in recording, later people were not able to use it. So this time something different, some extra thing we have to do. So that is, let's not do any talk in between and keep our microphone mute all the time. Let's keep video off also so that we have a quality call or whatever going on. And then if we have any doubt in between, you can type into chat window and that will be visible to me, so I can clear that without speaking. So this is going forward. Since now you people are at second level, so we expect some pace. Expectation is that you should be ready with yesterday's whatever class was there and whatever you have to read today. And again, like last time, so for discussions, WhatsApp group is there. And this is obvious. So with this, we'll start. So before starting, I have something to tell because many of you or whoever is there, you may not find it in proper order what I am going to do. So thing is, again, in this time, if I see your book has grammar, that is Bhasha Abhyasa, then Vyavaharik Shabda, you have to do that your own. Chatu Shloka, one something new is there, Chatu Shloka or Shloka. So here this time when you are reading shlokas, then the expectation is little different. So like last time we had to give the sthula meaning, but this time we have to get little better meaning. So you have to do some break, some sandhi, you have to make some pada separate like that. So what I thought, like it would be better if we know what the, because in this level you are going to study sandhi also. So if we know some sandhi and then do this, then it would be better. So that is why I am keeping it for later. Then there is something called samasya. So that also is like a partial shloka. So that also requires same thing, breaking and all. So that we can do after we know the sandhi or the grammar part in this book. Then Subhashitam, that again it requires, you might have already seen in book, it requires so many process, not just Sanskrit to English meaning. You have to do something and thereafter you have to derive Sanskrit meaning. So that in turn requires all that Pada Vicheda and all. Then comes a topic that is Pada Sangraha. So there are so many, from one root they make so many type of words. So there also you need to know those words. So if you are not knowing, then you have to remember. So suppose if you open in first chapter, you will see so many words, Patitavyam, Patitavya. As of now, you don't know them. So there are other words which you will not know in this level, but whatever is in this level, I thought like better you should know them first. Then there is a Kavya Katha, that is from our Dilip Katha, I think. So there also little detail is required, so grammar is required. Then Anvaya Krama, one thing is there, Anuvada Paddhati is there. Like see for Anuvada Paddhati, the translation methods. So if you see this, when I was looking the book, we can start it, but problem is in the second chapter itself, it uses the verbs which are taught in fourth chapter. So again, this will be like if we do the thing which is taught here first, then it will make more sense. So thinking this all, what I figured out, like first 5 classes, we will do in such an order like we are finishing our grammar part. In this book, if you see, grammar is less, applications are increasing now. Going forward in all levels, same thing will happen. So here you have something, some story, Sankshep Ramayana in shloka form. Then you have some Mahakavya which is converted into prose form and given. So what we will do and what book also intends, like we will know the grammar first and then you exercise. Now you can exercise fast also because last time you anyway you did all the exercises. And after that we will apply that learned grammar when we are doing other these things, everything like Chatu Shloka, Samasya, Subhashitam, everywhere we will apply that grammar. Then in this way I feel we will be able to use we'll have the best use of this course. So considering that whatever 5 classes I made, in that first class whatever today we are having, in that we are going to get introduction of Karmani Prayoga and Karmani Vartaman Kala. That is 5th chapter. Then we'll have matching thing that is totally connected to this, that is Tavyat and Aniyar, two Kridanta Pratyas, and that is chapter 9. And then we will see the Lingalakara, that is in chapter 4, Bhasha Abhyasa. If you feel it is too much, it is not like that. Once we will start, then you will see like it is. I did proper homework, so exercises will be much for you. That is why initially these 5 weeks or initial weeks till you people are not giving the feedback, we will have only one class a week so that you can do the exercises your own. So let's start. So let's see the Kartari Prayoga. You already know, like in Sanskrit, there are 3 kind of prayogas or 3 kind of voices: active, passive, and one impersonal or bhave. So Kartari Prayoga, Karmani Prayoga, and Bhave Prayoga. Now you should be understanding Kartari, which vibhakti it is. It is in Saptami, Ri. So let's see in Kartari Prayoga, since everything revolves around verb, so let's see what verb, how verb behaves in Kartari Prayoga. We have taken a verb, Parasmaipadi verb, Pathati. So you know Pathati is made from Pat plus Ti. Pat is the root and Ti is the Pratyaya. Pat is the Dhatu and Ti is the Pratyaya. Pathati together, if you see, it tells 2 things. First thing, it tells Kala, means when the action, this Pat action is happening. That is the present tense. Currently it is happening. Second thing, it tells who is doing this action. Karta. So how he tells Karta, how this word tells Karta? Because it tells the Purusha, it is telling that Pathati is the Pratham Purusha, and because it tells the Vachana, how many are doing. So with these 2, you can figure out like who is doing Karta. So this kind of verb, if another way you classify, you can say these verbs express Karta. So since Karta is now told by verb itself, Karta is told by verb itself. So when you have Karta in sentence, you need not to take any specific vibhakti for that. You can put it in him in first Prathama vibhakti itself. While if you see, verb is not telling anything about karma. So for karma, you require a specific vibhakti, that is Dvitiya vibhakti for karma. That you will understand further. If this much you have understand, that is good. So similarly, if you see for Atmanepadi verbs, story is same. You have Vandate as a model verb. Our again, it is depicting 2 things. It depicts other things also like Dhatu, Artha, Phala, Vyapara. But as of now, at this level, we need not to know. So here also it is telling the Karta and Kala. This also is Vartamana Kala, and the Karta is again Purusha, which is Pratham Purusha, and Vachana, which is Ek Vachana. So now we can say for both Atmanepadi and Parasmaipadi Kriyapade, normally Karta gets expressed. Here normally means from our understanding in Pravesa. So whatever we learned in Pravesha, from there we are saying normally. So normally these verbs are expressing Karta. So there is another kind of verbs where they don't express Karta. So that is some different kind of verbs. As of now, we have classification of verbs like Parasmaipadi, Atmanepadi, Ubhayapadi. Now you will have another kind of classification. So if this much is clear, then we can move from here. So let's see how words are there in Kartari Prayoga. So the format what I am following, this green one is for noun, red one is for verbs. So if you see Pathati, we know like this kind of verb expresses Karta. So since Karta verb itself tells like it is done by third person, it is done by singular, we need only Rama. It is in Prathama Vibhakti. No further information is needed from him. When Rama is there, we know like Rama is Karta because it is in sync with Pathati. When Rama changes, then Pathati also will change because Pathati has to tell the about Karta. So if it changes, it tells about two Kartas are there, then Rama also has to change. That is why, since no further information except the meaning of Rama is intended at this place, that is why Rama stands in Prathama. Where if you see here, Pustaka, now nobody is telling, verb is not telling about the karma, what is the karma, how many are there. Because of that, we need to put it in a vibhakti, that is called as Dvitiya vibhakti. If you have any doubt in this, then it will be clear once we will see the other part, whatever we are going to read. So if you see same thing is happening when verb goes for the Prathama Purusha Dvivachana, then this fellow automatically changes or it has to change to be in sync with verb. Where this fellow doesn't bother about verb. Verb is going where, this fellow is it is independent of verb. So similarly for Bahuvachana. So now since here Karta is main in verb and this kind of sentence formation, this kind of Prayoga or voice is called as Kartari Prayoga, where Karta is having the edge or is given importance. So again, this same thing what I am telling I have written here, since Kriya Padam itself telling about Karta, so we don't need any Vibhakti to tell about Karta. Like as of now, you know, Prathama is for, we were saying Karta, but Prathama is not for Karta. It is for some other, this thing like, meaning of the word and all it tells. So that way also Prathama is there. So since karma is not told by this fellow, our verb, so we are putting vibhakti to tell the karma. So whatever this fellow verb is our telling, that for that we are not wasting any vibhakti. Whatever this fellow is not telling, we are putting a vibhakti to tell that this thing is karma. So this is what you already read in level 1, and this is called as Kartari Prayoga. This you know and you practiced it properly also. If not, then we can discuss that. I am not running away from that. Now come to Karmani Prayoga. So what happens if a verb, same root, same dhatu, pat, becomes something like this, pathyate, where you see starting is dhatu, same dhatu, ending is like Atmanepadi, and in between these two, ya is there. So whenever you see something like this, you can say this verb is converted for karmani. So now what this verb will show? This verb, instead of showing karta, it will start showing the karma. And time anyway, kala will be there, tense will be there. And when it is showing karma, then purusha and vachana, same. Again, same thing will happen for Atmanepadi. Vandate will become Vandyate. Ya will come in between and te is like that. This was Parasmaipadi, but now the form looks like Atmanepadi. This was Atmanepadi, but now it looks like Atmanepadi itself. So you can say both kind of verbs, Parasmaipadi and Atmanepadi, can be converted into Karmani verb, and when they are converted, then both become then both of them become like Atmanepadi only. So both are expressing karma. So if we apply the earlier rule, if verb is telling the karma, then we don't need Dvitiya Vibhakti to tell the karma. Then what we will need? We will need Prathama Vibhakti, because now we need not to tell karma from now we need not to tell karma from the Vibhakti uses. Let me repeat it. So now verb, when you convert verb in this form, same pat dhatu plus ya plus te. Te is the suffix and ya is some different suffix. When they come together, then the verb pathati becomes pathyate. When it is pathyate, then instead of showing karta as it was showing in pathati, it starts showing karma. When it is showing karma, then verb itself is showing karma, then we don't need to use a vibhakti to show the karma, right? So whatever karma will be there now, that will go in prathama vibhakti, because we don't need vibhakti to show the karma. Verb itself is showing the karma. Same thing in this. With this, if it is this much is clear, then we'll move here to understand it more. This is very simple. Just initially, if you just listen carefully, then it is very simple. There is nothing much difference. So here, since Kriya Padam can be changed to express karma, that we already did. Now karma goes into Prathama Vibhakti. And since now karta is not told by this verb, so karta will go in Tritiya Vibhakti, because this all is happening because of grammatical rules, and those rules we are not supposed to learn or expose at this level, but for just for curiosity, you can say there is a rule kartru karanayoh tritiya. So whatever the tritiya vibhakti is, that is used to show the karta and to karana also, instrument of action also and doer of action also. So till now we did not have exposure to this prayoga passive voice. So we were not aware like when to use karta in tritiya vibhakti. Now we know. So let's see some examples. So now we know our verb pathyate. Pathyate is telling that English, if you say, you will say is read. So is read because it has to show the karma. So now what is read? Pustakam is read. Pustakam is read. Pustakam is not in Dvitiya. It is in Prathama. So now read by whom? Ramena. So Rama went into Tritiya. So if the same, so you can, if you in English you have to say, you will say book is read by Rama. Book is read by Rama. If you have to convert it into Kartari Prayoga, so you know Kartari verb will change and become Pathati. Then your karta is singular, it will become Ramaha. Ramaha pathati, and this fellow will go and say Ramaha pustakam pathati. Rama is reading a book. So this is the way here it works. So same thing, now you say Ramena, same ek tritiya ekvachana for karta. Now if we change this pustake, there are two books. So since verb is showing the karma, verb will follow the karma now. Verb also will change to pathyate. For this change, you can recall Vanda dhatu rupas, how you have learned for lat lakara. Vandate, vandete, vandante. So same thing. Now all Atmanepadi only will be used in karmani. So next, if you see, if you go to plural pustakas, so books are read by Rama. So this is the Karmani Prayoga. So this is just as simple as this. There is no other thing. What you have to remember is verb is changed to show the karma, not and earlier it was showing the karta. Whatever thing is shown by karma, again we put that thing into prathama, because we need not to waste a vibhakti for that, because verb is already telling who is the karta, who is the karma. Whatever is not told by verb, for that you need a vibhakti, because now verb is not telling who is the doer. So we need to put a doer into its respective vibhakti. For doer, vibhakti is tritiya. So that is why it is coming in tritiya. So if you in chapter 1 you see the first sloka of Sankshep Ramayana, there itself you will see what is the shloka? Janaihi Shrutah. So Ramo Nam Janaihi Shrutah. So you see Janaihi, that is Tritiya Bahuvachan, and Shrutah. Shruta is a Kridanta which is Karmani Kridanta. So that is why I started from here, so that you can make sense when you start reading those parts. So now to convert any verb, all verbs can be converted into karmani. To convert any verb, what is the formula used? Is dhatu you will take, you will add a ya and you will add a te. So whatever resulting form will come, that will become a karmani verb. So pathati means someone reads, and here pathyate means is read. So both you can English meaning also you can say. So pathati reads, it is read. Vandate salutes, and vandyate is saluted. Forms you need not to learn. The forms will always be like Atmanepadi forms only. So this is Karmani Prayoga. What is the basic of this? Let's see some small examples where both are there. And until you will not practice, you will not get full control on this. But there is nothing for which you will require a very dedicated teaching or. So first one, if we see Ramah Patham Pathati. So you might be aware what it is. A lesson. Rama is reading a lesson. In Kartari, when it will go, so you can start matching from here. In between Pat and Te, Ya will come. So it will become Pathyate. This Ya is written in different way because it is showing that before this, whatever letter is there, that is not full. There is no Swara in that letter. So you have to read that way also. Pathyate. Tha should be half without Akara. So Ramena Patha Pathyate. If you see now, this is in Prathama, but it is a karma. Pathyate is read. What is read? Patha. Lesson is read. Read by whom? Ramena. Read by Rama. So if you have to convert, mechanical rule will be whatever Kartari Karta is, convert it into Tritiya. Whatever Kartari karma is, convert it into Prathama. From Dvitiya to Prathama. Whatever Kartari verb is, convert it into Karmani verb by adding Ya and Te and removing Ti. After doing these three things, you have to now here Karta and verb were in sync, Vachana wise. Now here karma and verb will be in sync. That's how we will see in further examples also. So now if in Kartari I make Karta plural, so verb will become plural. Ramaha Patham Pathanti. So you see Karta is plural, Karma is singular, and so because Karta is in sync with verb, so Pathanti, verb also went to plural. But when we will go in Karmani, so now this Rama we will convert into Tritiya, so it will become Ramaihi, Tritiya Bahuvachan. Patham is singular, so it will get converted to Patha. And since verb has to be in sync with this, so it will not go to Pathyante, it will remain as Pathyate. Patha Pathyate. Lesson is read by Ramaihi, many Rama. Lesson is read by many Rama. Meaning remains same if you see. Many Rama Pathanti. What they Pathanti? One lesson. So it's like simple English active passive only. So let's see when karma is plural in Kartari. In this Kartari Prayoga, Ramaha Pathan Pathati. So Rama reads lessons. Then how you will do? Again you will do the same. Rama will become Ramena. Tritiya. Here Prathama Ekvachan will go to Tritiya Bahu Ekvachan. You have now many lessons. So this also will convert to Prathama Bahuvachan Pathaha. Now Pathati will become Pathyate, but since karma is plural and it is showing the karma, it will go to plural to match with this. This fellow will become Pathyante. This little with pronoun Aham Prashnam Prachami. I ask question. So it will Aham will get converted to Tritiya, will Maya. Prashnam will get converted to Prashnaha, Prathama. Prichami will get converted to Prichyate. So Prichyate means is asked. What is asked? Prashnaha. Question is asked. By whom? Maya. By me. So this is the Kartari and Karmani Prayoga. Again, I will summarize this in this one. Verb follows the number of karma pradam that you should be clear till now, and doesn't follow kartrupadam. So if you see, karta is here plural, but verb is similar. Here karta is singular, but verb is plural. So it is because now it has detached itself from karta. All forms, pathyate, pathyate, pathyante, all forms will be in atmanepadi forms only. Even parasmaipadi roots like pat, when they will go in karmani, whatever resultant padam is, that will be in atmanepadi form. Now, since karma pada is going to follow the kriya padam, so you will rarely see madhyam purush and uttam purush prayogas in karmani. So this is a means easy thing, because this fellow is always going to be third person only. So you will read, you will see only first line of uses. So which all dhatus will get karmani? Generally all. And the same rule for all. You will add ya and te. So if you see vandate, so you will see it's a atmanepadi, but the verb is kartari. But if you say vandyate, then it's a still atmanepadi, but verb is karmani, and meaning is different. So vandate and vandyate has a different meaning altogether. Now I hope you should be able to understand. So that is it. This requires practice. So practice will be of what kind? There will be so many words, which sentences which are written in Kartari. You just take them, start converting into Karmani. So once you are little familiar, then you can do the same reverse wise also. So there is nothing else to tell. Similarly, now we have so you can see this all is in present tense, Vartamana Kala. So going forward for Karmani, we need to understand other tenses also. So in this book, I think Lot is there and Bhuta is there. So you have to understand 3 tenses for Karmani. But Karmani is easy because you will have to deal only with Pratham Purusha. So now we'll see I think this one is from chapter 4. Earlier what I was telling was from chapter 5 grammar section. Last time in Pravesha you have read you have read 4 tenses. So 3 were pure tenses. One was mood, that was lot. So you have read Vartaman Kala, that is grammatically called Lat Lakara. Then you have read Bhuta Kala, that is Lang. Then Bhavishyat, that was Rit. And then you read a mood, that is called as lot. So here one other lot lakara is going to be introduced. Mood lakara is going to get introduced. That is called as vidhiling. So sometime it is called as vidhiling, sometime people call it as linga lakara also. You already know, like ling is of 2 type, vidhiling and ashirling. Last time in chapter 10 you have read, like we have total 11 lakaras. So one was late, which is used only in Vedas. So excluding that, we had 10. So for that 10, Ling Lakara had 2 forms, Vidhiling and Ashirling. So we are going to read Vidhiling because this also is used in daily uses. and in normal literature also you will see. So in this whole course, whole 2-year course, next 2 level also, you will not read any further lakaras, only 5 lakaras. So this lakara is used for showing probability or guessing. Similarly, it is used in vidhi sense also. Vidhi means when you dictate something. So like you say order kind of, like must be done or something. So 2 ways it is used. So let's see how it is used. If Rama might go in English, you say, then sambhavanarthe. You can see here sambhavana arthe. Sambhavana is this probability. For that meaning, we will use ling. So we'll say Rama gachet. Rama might go. So again, it has a table. So that table you have to see. So pathet, pathetam, patheyuh. Pateh, pathetam, pathet, and patheyam, patheva, pathema. Similarly, for our Atmanepadi root and model root Vand, so Vandet, Vandeyatam, Vanderan, Vandethah, Vandeyatham, Vandedhvam, Vandeya, Vandevahi, Vandemahi. So, practicing Lakara is again you make sentences, you speak, try to speak, and without practice there is no other way to keep it in your mind. If you remember also, when you have to use, they will not get recalled. So until you are not practicing, it will not come. But in this book there is some other thing which is again kind of is there. So if you read that next thing also, then you can convert from here to there and there to here. So that also will be a practice. So that we will see next. And that is the last thing of whatever we have to discuss today. After that, we'll address the questions and yes, any other things. So next thing is karmani kridantas. So as of now, we had seen kridantas. Kridantas are what? You might be remembering. If you not, then let me recall it. So dhatu is there. So when there is a group of pratyaya, some 140 around pratyayas, they are grouped, and that group is called as krit. So krit pratyaya. So ta becomes da because of some sandhi rule. So krit antaha. So that ta becomes da, then kridantaha. So when any of that 143 krit pratyaya is applied on a dhatu, then whatever form is generated, that is called as kridanta. Since the form is directly getting generated from dhatu, so it always has a action part inside it. So many places these kridantas are used as verb also. But since kridantas are noun by their definition, so they have gender, right? So last in Pravesha we have read 4 kridantas: Tavatu, then Ktva, then Tumun, and Lep. So we know like Ktva, Lep, and Tumun were producing avyayas. So they were not having any form. But Tavatu was producing something which had linga. So because it was a noun, but still being a noun also, it shows some action happening. So people can use it in form of verb also. Like you had seen Kritvan, Gatvan, they all were nouns, Kridantas, but they were used for showing action also. Went, Agatvan, came like that. So since when they get used in sentence, then still you were focusing on karta. So you can call them kartari kridanta with today's understanding. Now what we are going to show, those kridantas are used in karmani only. So that is why they are called as karmani kridanta. When we say they are used in karmani, then same thing. Now you have to think karma will take the prathama vibhakti and your karta will go in tritiya vibhakti. So let's see. So these are two pratyayas. They both mean same. So that is why they are together taught in book, and it is in chapter 9 Bhasha Abhyasa. So suppose take a dhatu pat. If you apply this kridanta, karmani kridanta tavyat, so in pravesha, you know, like all these pratyaya, they are like packed in a box. So when they are used, the box is opened and outer shell or the cover is thrown away. So same thing when here happens, then this last ta is thrown away and only essence is tavya. Tavya only remains. So remains means whatever the new words will be made by application of this pratyaya, you can hear this sound, tavya sound into them. So again, it's a kridanta, so it will take gender because it is ultimately namapada. So pumlinga will become patitavyaha. You can see here clear tavya sound is coming. Strilinga will become patitavya and napumsak linga will become patitavyam. Since it is a vidhi, means they also mandate, it means must be read like tavyaha. So how, like if say, it depends like whom now you are saying. So say if I say katha patitavya, so katha is striling, so you will use this, story must be read. In same meaning, exact same meaning, there is another pratyaya called as aniyar. So here also when you strip the unused part, this ra, then remains, whatever remains is called as aniya. So when you will make sentences or make kridantas with this dhatu, then you will see that aniya will come. You will listen aniya at the end. So here if you see when pat and aniya join, then it becomes in pumlinga pathaniya. For strilinga pathaniya. For napumsaklinga pathaniyam. So wherever patitavya you can use, should be read, must be read. Same place you can use pathaniya. It is your choice which one you want to use. Wherever you have patitavya and can be used, similarly you can say pathaniya. Katha patitavya, katha pathaniya. Same meaning. But but only catch here is that they can be used only in karmani. They cannot be used into kartari. So you cannot say Ramaha pustakam patitavyaha. That will not be correct. It will be Ramena pustakam patitavyaha in karmani only. So very next question will be if the same kind of feeling must be done or must be read. If I have to express in karmani kind of sentences, then what we have? So for that we have the vidhilinga, whatever you read just before. Pathet, pathetam, patheyu. So if you have to, when it is the linga lakara is used in vidhi form, then it will give you the same meaning in kartari prayoga. So how to learn now, you see. So first you have to learn karmani prayoga. You understood everything. So like what is in karmani, because there is nothing much into that. Now you convert kartari into karmani. Once you know the karmani, after converting around 10-15 sentences, your mind will get the whatever logic and it will start doing its own. Then once you understand karmani, then immediately you can see what this tavya and tavyam is doing, because this still the prayoga will remain karmani. And then with vidhilinga, same feeling what you are getting with tavya, you can get in kartari also. Then you can use vidhilinga and tavyat and aniyar to convert into each other to practice this thing. So this is like this, how we are showing here. So like saha shala gachet, he must go to school. I think shalam, it should have been shalam here. So now when you will convert into karmani, this gachet you can use gantavya. You can see the tavya sound and ending with akaranta means it is for strilinga. Where is strilinga? It is the shala. Now because it's not pure verb, so it has to follow gender. It is actually noun, so it will follow the gender. Only the thing is, since it is made directly from verb, so it has some action. Verb is for action. Some action is there in this which can be utilized. So shala gantavya. By whom? Tena. By him. By him. He must go to school. School must actually translating karmani in exact English is a little like you can say it is not that plain. It is still easy, but when we will study bhave, so translating that into English is very tough. So what people do, they convert it into kartari and then translate. But here for exam purpose, you have to translate in directly in English. So because your sentences also will be very small, so it should not be an issue. So now if there is another sentence, Bhavan katham vadet, you must tell story. So same thing if you come here, you will say bhavata, Bhavan will go into tritiya, katham will go into katha, prathama, katha vaktavya. Katha must be told by whom? By bhavata, by you. So these two we are using tavya. Now let's see how using aniya same thing you can do. Sakhi anujam suchayet. Suchayet is for to inform. So suchayet is pathet again, vidhilinga. So anujam suchayet. Tell to younger sister. Must tell to younger sister. Sakhi. Friend must tell to younger sister. Now, when you convert this into karmani or when you use the aniyar, then it will become suchaniya. Must be informed. Who must be informed? Anuja. Anuja must be informed. By whom? By Sakhi, by friend. Sakhya in Tritiya. So like Bhaktaha Maunam Acharet. Maunam is silence. Bhakta is devotee. Acharet means he should do. So again here must feeling is there because this is Vidhilinga. Same thing you are achieving with Aniyar here. But Maunam now is in Napumsaklinga. So what you will do? You will convert this aniyar also to Napumsaklinga. Acharaniyam. Maunam acharaniyam. Kena bhaktena. So this is it. What these three things are, and I expect now to just you will be able to do the exercises of 4, 5, and 9. This is just my experiment. Don't get like if you see if you still cannot do, so don't see like it is done from my side. We will anyway, if you are not able to do, which I don't see like you will not be. So if you are having any issues, then we'll come back.